Hello, 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 this is MrDeathtanker again, and we're here at, can't remember the name of the map, but, you'll remember it well enough if you've played World of Tanks any amount of time. Anyway, I'm here in the 5100, rather AMX 5100, one of the first autoloaders you get in the French heavies. It's got 6 rounds, takes a blistering 50 seconds to reload though from that clip, and as you can see here, we got a pretty good matchup. Only 3 9s per team, rest are 8s and below. That's a pretty good matchup for me. I'm not a big fan of this map for the autoloaders. It's just I have a hard time really seeing this map's potential for a flanking heavy of this type. Or at least that's how I use this. I use it to flank mostly, get in all the shots and outturn the heavy's ability to turn the turret, while I'm just laying shot after shot into him. Anyway, I'm going north because I see a big mass of tanks going south. On hindsight, that wasn't a very good idea because north has changed, and I basically forgot all about that. But that's basically the decision I made. I really should have probably either gone mid or south. This is a tactical error. This up here is basically a peekaboo corner, full of rocks, hills, and houses, and that's not very good for this tank because you need them to be out in the open to unload all of your rounds into them. And a little derp of my driving there, by the way. And try to peekaboo in an AMX 5100 is going to be a bad time because this tank, its armor, even though it's a heavy tank, is basically made of nothing but hope and dreams. It's like the thickest is that plate of 100 millimeters in front that's angled, this bit right here, but otherwise it's just nothing basically. HE really hurts this tank, and basically all the armor there is for like just stopping HE from completely wrecking you and provide a little bit of frontal resistance to the tanks. Anyway, I see the 59 over there in a pretty good spot to spot enemy tanks are coming down that way and bounce off this frontal armor, so I decided to come up here a little bit higher. My initial thought from here is I'm starting to realize this is a very bad spot because it's just peekaboo central. The enemy tanks are not charging the type, and I'm basically wondering, oh god, this is a very bad mistake here. But I'm just going to try to make the corner work, try to shoot him, bounce off the IS-3 and the M103. Keep an eye on the M103, by the way. He's going to be very important later on. Bounce off of them because while this gun has got okay penetration, the gun handling is pretty crap. The only reason why I've got the gun handling I do have now is because of equipment choices. You know, like a vertical stabilizer and gun lay and drive, but it's just the handling characteristics are not that good. I mean, I understand it because it's a 6-round autoloader, but at the end of the day, it's just quite poor. And I've already used up 3 rounds, and I've done 0 damage, and we're down 2 tanks, and that's just not looking too good here all of a sudden. And these 2 heavies are not pushing, mostly probably because there's a type and he's very hard to penetrate, but also because, the M103's decided he's gotten tired of this, and I only realized this after I charged, but it actually seemed like he was making a calculated risk. All of his friends had just shown up, and he didn't push any further, and he angled, so I'm going to have a very tough time penetrating him, and I decide right now that it's not worth it. It's just time to bug out. It's just not worth staying around there with all those enemy tanks there when I'm out of ammo. So I just decided to run, and sorry type, but I just gotta go. And I have an enemy light chasing me, 2 tanks in front of me, and just try to scope around them. Hope they don't see me. We actually bounced a couple shots from the enemy light behind us, the MT-25, but he's starting to look premium. And I think he realized that since I was unloaded, the best thing he could do as a tier 6 light was to try and take me out, try to beat my reload. But Panther 2 gets him. I may have lost quite a bit of health there, at least around, what was that, 280 roughly, and now the T-34 is chasing me. But I almost want to say that was a bad call by him to throw away his tank chasing me. But anyway, I'm just going to keep on going because I have no business being in the open, and the best thing I can do is keep using my speed to dodge enemy fire like that and see if there's any tanks I can take care of, like this T-20 up here, who's cornered our Super Pershing. Super Pershing, by the way, your armor is not at the strongest at your side. It's, you know, the frontal. Don't do that. That's stupid. Anyway, I killed the T-28 at enemy base, but to cap right now with all of those guys up in the north is suicide, so I decided to bug out. I bug out and see there's many tanks down south that are holding our guys down there, and I figure, well, might as well flank with my last 4 shots, reload, and then make a plan from there. So I speed down with the excellent speed of the AMX 5100, because it's basically a heavy tank with no armor, so the engine is unencumbered. And it doesn't seem like I was really needed in the first place, because as soon as I get here, they clean these 2 guys up. I have only done just over 400 damage. It's team score is even. It's not looking particularly good because a lot of our tanks are beat up. 2 more of our tanks are kind of just held up over there in the quadrant right over here, and they're just slowly getting picked apart. Oh, that's strange. The enemy IS crashed. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there. But, you know, you never can tell, and engine sounds bugged out there for a minute. I'm not quite sure what was going on there either. But, yeah, we just lost our Panther 2 and T-30, and I'm sort of... This is part like where I wanted to drop down, but I suddenly realized, oh, that's a cliff base. I have no armor. I would just die and explode. Anyway, I've pretty much chosen that now is the time to go back to base. Screw what those other 2 heavies think they should do. We have to go back to base. When your cap is being threatened and you have the speed to get back, go back. Don't just decide to go out there and get raffle stomped by tanks coming back on their team. Because that's what's going to happen to those 2 of the heavies over there, while me and the T-34 are going back. Also, props in advance to the T-34 over here. He's going to do a major service to me in the next couple minutes. Very well played by Mr. Valentine 3094. I'm not liking her name. It's kind of generic, but well played, sir. Very well played. Anyway, our 2 heavy friends kill the T-34 over there finally, but they've been flanked by an M103, and Conqueror just got taken out. And quite honestly, an AMX M445 against an M103, there's not much contest there. He's going to get just absolutely stomped by the M103, who's a competent driver. Anyway, there's 2 cappers. I don't know where they are. I'm going to seek to spot them before the T-34 crests over the ridge over there. And there they are. And unfortunately, they're mostly full of health, while I've only got like 700 in me. And the T-34 over there has only got like 129 total. Anyway, I'm sitting back here, and he resets, doesn't do any damage on them, but I take this as my cue. 1 shot. And then 2 shots into the Indian Panzer. The IS-3 decides to come after me, but he gets nailed on the side by the T-34. I aim. 1 shot into him. I took a hit, but he's out of ammo. I've only got 1 shot left. IS-3 is dead. Indians charging the T-34. I aim. Hit him on the side. Take away most of his health left. And I'm out of ammo, so I'm reloading. So I can only pray that the T-34 kills him, which he does. But now I'm reloading, so I need to stop, take evaluation of the situation. Our other heavy was annihilated by the M103. He's on 3 kills now. He knows what he's doing. So I need to be really careful about that. Our T-34 friend over here is pulling back up towards the base. This is the only point of contention I have with him. He doesn't get into a true hold down spot, so he's like exposing his rather weak frontal plate. I mean, he's trying to get back, but the T-34 is so slow. Like, he doesn't have much of a hope unless he like really just turned around and went full speed. He tries to get hold down before the M103 can nail him, but no dice. And M103 1,400 health left. And I've got basically 400. He's tier 9, I'm tier 8. Holy crap, what am I going to do? I decided to bug out of the situation entirely. He's going to be looking that way for me, basically, because he killed that other tank, and he's going to expect that the other tank, me, would be with him. But I'm going to use the speed of the AMX 5100 to flank all the way around. It's not as fast as a lot of mediums, but considering this is basically a heavy tank hull, a heavy tank engine, but no armor around it, it can go surprisingly fast. And the gun, while being quite big, is only a 100mm. It's not like one of the bigger, like American 120s or Soviet 122mm, because that factors is in too. But I saw a tree go down, so I know roughly where he is, and he's turned the wrong way. He's looking for me by the houses, and he's not fast enough. I get 2 shots into him before he realizes it, and right now he's thinking, oh shit, I need to chase this guy. But unfortunately for him, it's downhill. AMX 5100, so I can scoot away really fast. I used 2 of my shells. By the way, these average shells do about 300 average damage. And with the health he has left, I need to get at least like 3 or maybe even 2 more shots more if RNG loves me, rather. But I just need to keep diving and weaving him. I can't be in a place he expects. He's a good player, so he'll be pre-aimed, but he's not a great player. That's the difference here. He's gonna do things like that would work against like regular players of this game, but if you can think a couple steps ahead of him, you can outplay him, you can outthink him, and you can outshoot him. Now, I haven't spotted him yet, which is really suspicious, but if he's over here, like I think, yep, there he is, turned the wrong way. He was pre-aimed at the original location I was at. And since the M103 has terrible side armor, I was able to just lob a shell right into that. But now he's pre-aimed toward this area, so I'm going to go away, because all he needs basically is 1 high roll shot and I'm dead. And I'm not going to let him have that. I'm going to go back around over here and shoot him again. Now, a great player would know what I'm doing right here. He would kind of predict what's about to happen now. But we have to go back on this point that he is a good player, no doubt. He's a good player, but he's not like the next level, can predict 2-3 steps ahead of everyone else, pre-aim, or even get somewhere where they totally not expect. And there he is out in the open. 1 shot. Uh-oh. He's gonna have time to shoot. Misses. And dead. With 1 shell left in the clip. And the team is like, wow, nice. And I have to agree with them. Those last few minutes, my heart was pounding in my chest. I was like, oh god, man. Oh god, I need to get these shots on him before he like either charges me or finally decides he's had enough of my shit and like figures out which direction I'm going to become on. But, you know, from having that terrible initial game, from my terrible starting position up at B1 and 2, I was able to pull it back by doing a suicidal charge, I admit, but getting basically out of the way of the heavies here and here, and now, granted, a light chased me right through here, but I basically disengaged aggressively to get out, clear the right flank rather, from behind, or at least attempt to. I mean, I did kill the T-28, try to help down here, but they were already dead, and then just swoop around back to base, and thanks to some clear thinking a couple steps ahead, I was able to really clutch win this game. And let's go look at those in-game plates. Alright guys, here we are with World of Tanks replays again, and I've labeled this game appropriately. AMX 5100 clutch win, should be dead 10 times over. Basically, it was not enough for a mastery. It's just, you know, that's still a very good, you know, place to place, because also considering I'm not used to squishy, you know, like high damage tanks at all. I'm still trying to learn the play style, but we did a very good job. We damaged a lot of tanks, took out a lot of modules thanks to our auto-loading. That should also be another thing of note. Auto-loading tanks are really, really good for damaging modules, because they can hit the same spot again and again and again. Actually, 5100s are probably one of the best tier 8 tanks at ammo racking the enemy, because if you know where to shoot, like on a Tiger or even Tiger 2. If you just shoot the same spot in the side right below the turret where their ammo rack is, you can ammo rack tanks pretty effectively as long as you can flank them, which is what I like to do in this tank, because it's made of paper and I should, use a speed at least to flank them and get full damage out of it. Anyway, we got quite a few credits and XP. We were actually top XP, not top damage. The Conqueror was actually very good. He just kind of got balled hard by the M103, who also had a monster game. As you can see, we had quite a few good players on our side. The T-34, Mr. Valentine, very good job, sir. Very good job. Yep, he was in second place. He really helped me with the IS-3 and the Indian Panzer, Conqueror. We had some very good players, and so did they. It's just that when it came down to the wire, Mr. Omega 11 and his M103, he was a good player, no doubt. You don't get 4K, without, having to work for it, at least, even if you are top tier. But I just outplayed him. I outthought him. I thought a couple steps ahead from where he would probably be doing, and was able to correctly predict how to get around his sides and shoot his vulnerable points. And 18 shots fired, only 14 hit. I mean, that's pretty good. Once again, French gun handling is pretty bad, but you can make it work as long as you take that time to aim and have the appropriate equipment. 14 shots, 13 pins, very little damage blocked by armor. Once again, this thing is made of paper. Everything's going to hurt, basically. If you just think that everything's going to hurt, you're going to play this thing appropriately. But that was just a very clutch game, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.